All right, guys. So we've done affordability videos in the past, cost of living, so on. And as we know, those things change as time progresses. So here's a quick update on all things that we can come up with about living here in the upstate. First, we'll go through some of those things everybody needs to live. And then by the end of the video, I'm going to tell you about the housing affordability in the area and kind of some of the things that you gain for certain areas, and then some of the other compromises that you may need to make when you live in other areas around the upstate when it comes to affordability. So let's get into it. Everybody needs food to live. So your groceries, your grocery shopping, Publix, Costco, Harris Teeter, Ingles, those are just a few of the grocery stores. They're not going to be terribly different than the rest of the country when it comes to cost. But I would like to note for you that a lot of your grocery shopping you can do here in the upstate at the farmers markets on the weekends. It's really not much more expensive to buy produce or even sometimes your meat and eggs and all of the things you're going to get at a grocery store locally. So go check out the farmers market. Go watch our farmers market video that we just put out on Traveler's Rest, because overall, when it comes to the cost of your food and such, it's not that much different. Now, healthcare is really important. The Southeast does have one of the larger hospital systems. So Prisma Health is definitely a fantastic hospital system with many different research centers for cancer. It also has one of the area's only pediatric hospitals. So it's definitely something where here in the upstate, healthcare, yes, it's not much different than the rest of the country, but you have really good healthcare here locally. Other things you need to be aware of, like entertainment, the things that you're going to go out and do on a day-to-day basis, going to restaurants. If you're downtown Greenville, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Those restaurants, those things to do, the entertainment, you've got the Peace Center that's down there. I would say we're more affordable with the fun things that you get to do than some of the bigger areas of the country like Atlanta, Charlotte, Charleston. I think we have a lot going on here in Greenville without being that big city. Lastly, before we go on, is your gas prices. Gas prices are going to be less expensive than the rest of the country. That's just one of the nice things here. Now, I do see gas prices over $3 a gallon. I've got to be completely honest with you though. I drive an electric car. Childcare. All right. Now, if you're watching this video and you're like, we've already done that part of life, Aubree, this doesn't matter to me, feel free, skip ahead 20 seconds here. Childcare, $200 per week per kid. Now, I've got 3 kids, so my bill's expensive every month. Now, there's plenty of options here in the upstate for childcare, and it's just going to be expensive. $1,400 to $2,000 a month for childcare. I don't know that it's much more affordable any other places in the country, so that's just something that we've got to be aware of. And if you're looking for childcare here in the upstate, there are waiting lists everywhere. So unless you are looking at a private childcare, in someone's home, make sure that they have the right insurances and licenses. Most childcare facilities here have a 12 to 18 month wait list. I am not joking about that. One of my kids is on one of those wait lists right now. So if you know that you're going to be moving to the area and you're still a year or two out, please go ahead. Let's figure out what area and let's go ahead and get on one of those lists, because that's really important too. All right, so before we go into different locations, there's a difference between resale homes here in the upstate and new construction. And it's a pretty important gap right now in affordability. With new construction, you're going to see the bright and shiny things. It's always cool to look at potentially buying a brand new home. There's going to be incentives for closing costs or flex cash. And buying a new home is awesome, okay? These builders in the area, DRB, SK, DR Horton, Eastwood, Lennar, and we have a few other new builders coming in the area over the next couple of years. You're going to have to go watch my live stream though on Thursday nights in order to get more information about that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and that you have notifications turned on because I have some more things coming soon. New construction, I think, is great because those incentives right now are going to be used towards rate buy downs. All right. So your incentive for a new construction is going to be like $10,000, $15,000 to use towards closing costs. Typically, though, closing costs are only going to be about $5,000 to $10,000. So why is it so much and why does it look great? They're also going to say, oh, you can get a 4.99% interest rate or a 5.4% interest rate. Yes, they are doing that with that incentive money. And did you know that some of the resale homes, you can actually negotiate the price on those now and ask for closing costs just like you would with a builder. So say you have a home that is $400,000 and you love it, but it's been on the market for a month. Go ask for $10,000 in closing costs. It's the same thing that you're going to do with a builder, and you're going to be able to negotiate the price. You're going to get a home that already has maybe a more established community, more trees, and you can still get the same incentive with a resale if you and your realtor, contact the team, knows how to negotiate those things. So definitely affordability, and here in the upstate, don't be afraid of maybe some of the higher interest rates right now. What goes up does come down, and you may have a little bit more affordability with a resale option if you know how to negotiate it. Let's talk about areas. So, of course, you came here because you're like the upstate, and the upstate gets overshadowed by Greenville, specifically Greenville downtown. You've seen all of the cool pictures of Falls Park. You've seen the main street. You've watched these videos and you're like, Greenville sounds like so much fun, because it is. Living downtown can be pretty expensive, all right? So I think if you're looking for just a small home, nothing too big or extravagant, you can probably get close to downtown for around $500,000. There's other options too, where if you're just looking for, say, a condo downtown. I know of some great condos down off of McBee that are about, I would say, 600 to 1,000 square feet. And those homes usually sell for somewhere between like upper 300s into the 400s. So you can really get close to downtown if you're willing to compromise on size. Now, I would say if you want maybe a more substantial home, something a little bit bigger, or you want something that is maybe newer or more modern. Guys, those prices down there, I've seen them go upwards of $1 million, then upwards of $2 to $3 million to be downtown Greenville. So really, when you're downtown, the cool thing is you're going to get the walkability. You're going to be close to everything, grocery stores, boutique stores. And the closer you get into stuff like that, the more it costs. So for lack of better terms, location, location, location. Speaking of downtown, there are some areas around it that I definitely would say are more affordable. For example, the Berea Sans Souci area. You'll end up with some housing in, say, the West Village area that they're brand new houses. They're going to be $400,000, $500,000. And you're going to end up in some neighborhoods that you have a maybe not so nice house, and then you're going to have a really nice house, then a not so nice house. Those homes, the closer you get in towards downtown, I mean, I walked a townhome a couple months ago that was $700,000. So really, it's all over the place over there. However, what you gain from that is a little bit of a compromise. If you want to be more affordable but close to downtown, but you're out in that area, you may end up in what's called a food desert. There's not a grocery store close by. There's not a market close by. And that's just something that for that area, as it's growing and as more is coming to the area and it's getting nicer, it's going to be a while until it has a grocery store. So that's a compromise. Instead of 10, 15 minutes to a grocery store, it might be 20 to 30 minutes. You know, as you get in closer, or you are willing to pay a little bit of a higher price, you end up with more conveniences like a close by grocery store. Other places that I definitely hear you guys talking a lot about is the Malden-Simpsonville Fountain Inn areas. Now, those areas' average prices, you're probably going to be upper 300s all the way up to 500. And that's not bad. You're going to get really nice family-sized homes. A lot of you are looking for your 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, single-story home. You're probably looking from $350 to $400, and you can find those homes under $350. However, you will have a nicer home up to about $400 and up there. And obviously there are homes and communities in the area that are more expensive. Now, those areas, you're going to have a little bit more of a drive, less walkability. It's not as easy to walk to downtown Simpsonville or the little downtown in Fountain Inn. Those areas are always growing. And they are a little bit more affordable because you are outside of Greenville by about, I would say, 20 to 30 minutes. But it's not bad. And you're also located right there on 385. So it's easy to get places. You're not far from the healthcare. You're not far from things to do. So it's a growing area. Malden specifically, I think, is really growing. And Fountain Inn. Fountain Inn's the next Traveler's Rest. So, and I'm going to keep saying that because I believe it. Other areas, though, Taylor's, Greer, those areas are definitely in your $300,000 to $400,000 range. As you go into Greer, you will get more expensive areas, specifically as you get closer to like the Pelham Road area, which we've done some videos on that area. Go watch the driving videos that we've done of Pelham Road. So you can kind of see the area, lots of different grocery stores and things to do out there. That's a very desirable area, and it kind of straddles Greenville County and Spartanburg County. If you live on the Spartanburg County side, though, your taxes are going to be a little bit lower than Greenville. So maybe a little bit more affordable the further out you go, and you'll end up hitting different areas of Spartanburg County. Of course, there's lots of other areas, but because I just mentioned Spartanburg, look into Spartanburg and Anderson counties. There's lots of different areas that are very affordable, and you're only 20, maybe 30 minutes outside of anything. And you do have your local grocery stores. You have your local things to do. I know specifically like Boiling Springs, for example, has a brand new city center that's coming in. As you're looking at the areas, and obviously we could continue listing different areas, the further out from Greenville you get, a little bit more affordable is what you end up getting. So we've done the videos on like the Piedmont Powdersville area, the Easley area, Pickens as well. You go further out even more to like Lawrence on the southern side of Greenville. You're just going to find a lot of great areas where I really think when you look at it, that's where the affordability really comes into play whenever you're looking at these different suburbs. So I know that this video covered a lot of different things, and if you have specific questions about, okay, well, where is the hospital near this area? Or what about schools? Or I gotta be close to a Costco, Aubree. How close am I? Reach out to the team. We would love to help you. We would love to provide more guidance. And it doesn't matter if you're 6 months, a year, 3 years out. We love to answer your questions. So email the team. We would love to do that. And I hope this helped. Catch you next time.